How's it going? I'm Ryan. I'm with Group 3 in the Bolivian Greenhouse Group. I'm going to walk you through our design of how we set up our drip irrigation system for the greenhouse and all the supplies needed to do so. The first thing we will need is a Y adapter to attach to the faucet system to give it more of a multi-purpose use, so they can use the faucet for the normal purposes as they normally would, as well as attach the drip irrigation system. Next, you will need a timer. For our purposes and our constraints and criteria, we went with a mechanical timer. This is because it has a lot less moving parts, a lot less things can go wrong, and they tend to last a lot longer, as opposed to what I was originally going to use. This is a battery operated timer. It can run off batteries. I was going to solder on a little solar panel so it could be solar charged, but we still decided that was too many moving parts and would ultimately could fail on them. The next part I used in our design was a pressure regulator. This little guy monitors the water flow that flows through the plastic tubing to conserve water so it doesn't use so much, hence the name drip irrigation. And it also has a filter built in, so it gets out all those pollutants and all that bad stuff you don't want going into your garden. Now this little guy right here is the fitting that goes from the pressure regulator to the main water supply tubing. It too has a little built-in filter to get out that stuff you don't want. And as you can see here, I got it already attached to my tubing. It fits on there pretty nice. And then it allows you to just screw that right onto the pressure regulator. Nice and easy. Now the next thing I got here is my 1/4-inch tubing, going from that fitting there. And then I got a nice long, probably about 100 feet or so, spool of it. And then at the very end attached is a little cap just to stop the water flow at the end so there's no leakage. This little guy is the connector that connects the main water supply tubing to the little 1/8-inch plastic tubing we have here. What's cool about this is you don't need any special tools to connect this to the main supply tubing. You just press it right in there, and it clips right in. You can see it's real sharp, so it punctures the main tubing, and then it has a little hole in there so the water will go through there straight into the tubing. So it's a great connector. It's very hard to mess up, which will make it great for our friends in Bolivia. And then finally we just have the little drip emitter here that will be delivering our final water drips to our vegetables in our greenhouse. Here's my final product I got when I finally got it assembled. This is attached to a 1-inch faucet. It has the Y adapter here, which allows us, as you can see, if I wanted to, this is still usable for other functions. So even while we have our drip irrigation system going, we can still use that faucet for other reasons. I don't know if you can hear that faint ticking. That's the mechanical timer doing its thing. Connected to the pressure regulator, fitting to the tubing. You follow this down around here. There's a stake I put in the ground to hold this in place. That's the connector that goes to the 1/8-inch smaller tubing, which actually worked very well and was very easy to do. You basically just press in and you clamped. It worked perfect. It was awesome. And that goes straight off to this little plant right here. As you can see, we have drippage, so it's working perfectly. It probably took me a total setup time of about 5 minutes. It was very easy to construct. You could probably do IKEA style instructions and make it very hard to even mess up this kind of system, which fits right into our criteria which it has to be easy to set up for a mother to do by herself. Also hard to break, which I think it is. This is durable plastic tubing. We put in that mechanical timer, that way things are less likely to go wrong as opposed to that solar powered timer. So we also met that criteria as well. And the last criteria we had for our drip irrigation system, that it was just able to hook up to a faucet, which obviously we were able to do here, and even add this Y adapter to give this more functionality.